Hey guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here with the movie review for Halloween, the 1978 classic horror film directed by John Carpenter. Guys, I'm just going to make this one quick statement before I actually start this review. Halloween is the greatest horror film of all time. It's the greatest horror slasher film of all time. It's the greatest slasher of all time. That's right, guys. You can go ahead and say, no, Psycho's better. Maybe even some of you would say Friday the 13th was better. But for me, it will always and forever will be Halloween. No horror movie that's even made in this day and age will never come close to being better than Halloween. No way in hell. Halloween, my favorite horror film of all time. I love watching this movie every single October. I watch it at least 2 or 3 times every October. I'll see it like twice on AMC because they play it on AMC Fear Fest, and then I'll watch it again on DVD just for the hell of it because I just love this movie. It's such a classic, fun horror film, and it's so great. Michael Myers, come on, greatest slasher killer of all time. By far goes to Michael Myers. Yeah, I guess you could say Jason because his kills are always a lot more gorier than Michael Myers, a little bit, I guess you could say. But, you know what, Michael Myers all the way. I love the guy. He's awesome. Now, guys, as you know, it's the month of October, and all I'm talking about is Halloween movies on my channel. And, of course, I wanted to do this movie review of the original Halloween. I wanted to, tell you guys my thoughts about this movie because I love it. I really do. It's such a great film. If you have not seen this movie yet, if you were never born in 1978, if you were never alive in 1978 like I was not born. I was not, old. I wasn't even alive during that time. Please do yourself a favor and go buy this movie on DVD or Blu-ray. No, go buy it on Blu-ray. The picture quality is kick-ass. But anyway, I want to get right into the review of Halloween, guys. I'm going to review this movie like I would normally review a movie in all my movie review videos. First thing I'm going to start talking about is the story of Halloween. Alright, guys. It is in the beginning of the movie, right after the amazing, the beginning credits with the Halloween theme by John Carpenter. I love listening to that every year. Let's just put it at that. The movie picks up on Halloween night, 1963. 6-year-old Michael Myers is watching his older sister Judith make out with her boyfriend in Michael's house. They go upstairs to the bedroom, lights go off, Michael Myers goes into the house, picks up the kitchen knife, walks up the stairs after the boyfriend leaves, stabs his sister Judith repeatedly, kills her, and boom, that's the end of sweet little innocent Michael Myers. And now he's going to grow up to become one of the most well-known serial killers of all time, one of the greatest slashers of all time. Anyway, so the movie then picks up years later. It is the October 30th, 1978. Michael Myers, ever since that incident where he killed his sister, has been taken to Smith's Grove Sanitarium, obviously because he's got some sort of a problem going on. And that rainy, stormy Halloween Eve night, Michael Myers escapes Smith's Grove. He steals a car, gets away from his doctor, Dr. Loomis, played by Donald Pleasence. Michael Myers, where do you think he wants to go? He wants to go back home, which is Haddonfield, Illinois, where he originally killed his sister. So he goes back home and he begins to stalk this young babysitter, Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, and Laurie's friends, Annie and Linda, and Linda's boyfriend, Bob. And meanwhile, on Halloween night, October 31st, 1978, Laurie is babysitting Tommy Doyle, and Annie is babysitting Lindsay right across the street. Meanwhile, Dr. Loomis comes to Haddonfield to look for Michael Myers to stop him because he knows he is back for revenge, I guess you could say. And boom, we have our creepy movie. Michael Myers begins to stalk Laurie, Annie, and Linda, and it's just such a fun movie from then on. I love this movie, guys. I love the story of this movie. This movie has a really nice story. And something I always wanted to know before I saw Halloween 2, the sequel to this movie, why did Michael Myers want to go after Laurie Strode? What was about her that he wanted? I mean, why did he want her, and why was he after her? That is made known in Halloween 2. There is a reason why it is not revealed in the original. It is revealed in a deleted scene of this movie. In the extended edition of Halloween, if you buy that on DVD, there is a deleted scene that pretty much explains why Michael Myers is going after Laurie Strode. You can put the pieces together, but it was never made known in the original Halloween, but still, it was such a creepy movie, no one really cared. They just wanted to see, Michael Myers, just, slash people up. But the story was excellent in this movie. I mean, we never know why Michael Myers just kills Judith out of nowhere. It's just, there's something wrong with the guy, obviously, but who cares? We love this guy. We love this character of Michael Myers. Anyway, as for the cast of this movie, do I really need to explain how good the cast is in the original Halloween? Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, perfect idea. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis is excellent in this movie, and Laurie is kind of like the innocent girl that, is always, I guess, doing things for her friends, or, she's different from her friends Annie and Linda. I don't know, there's a word to describe her. I don't know what it is. I'm just going to say she's the innocent girl, the virgin. Yeah, call her the virgin. But she is way different from her friends. Her friends, Linda and Annie, are the type of girls that only care about themselves, their boyfriends, and sex. That's it. They of course they care about Laurie, but Laurie is just so much different from them. But Laurie is the kind of girl that really cares about others. She babysits kids all the time. That's mentioned somewhere in the movie. She's babysitting Tommy in the movie. She's way different from her friends, and then when she meets Michael Myers in the end of the movie, when she realizes Michael Myers is killing off her friends or whatever, I mean, that's just so great just to see, the main heroine, the main female lead in the movie just trying to get away from Michael Myers is so much fun. But Jamie Lee Curtis is perfect in this movie, perfect acting. Then you have Donald Pleasence as Dr. Loomis, another fantastic actor. Donald Pleasence is spectacular in these movies. I love him in this one and all the other sequels as well. So good in this movie. He's really, really obsessed with Michael Myers. That's his character. I mean, he's always been like that in all the Halloween movies. But his best role, of course, was in this one. Perfect, outstanding acting from him. Then you have Nancy Loomis and PJ Soles playing Laurie's friends, Annie and Linda, and they are, meanwhile, like I said, they only care about themselves, their boyfriends, and sex. Annie, the actresses, Nancy Loomis and PJ Soles that play these two characters, play them perfectly. I mean, they care about Laurie, but then again, like Annie's like, Laurie, please, can you just watch Lindsay for me? I want to go find my boyfriend, and I want to go fool around with him. That's pretty much what Annie wants to do. That's what she does in the movie. But she doesn't get that far now, does she? No, she doesn't. But they were great in this movie as well. Then you had Charles Cyphers as Annie's father, Sheriff Brackett. He's the sheriff of Haddonfield, Illinois, and he is great in this movie as well. That's all I'm going to talk about the cast. I want to go into other things with this movie. Next thing I really want to mention, something I always loved about this movie ever since I first started watching it, first time I saw it, the setting. I absolutely love the fall setting in this movie. I mean, in the beginning of the movie, when it focuses on Laurie walking to school, you see all the leaves, it's all peaceful, and you're like, oh, this is such a peaceful, serene setting, and you're like, oh, something's going to go down. And then when we first see Michael Myers stalking Laurie in the beginning of the movie as she's walking to school, he's doing the heavy breathing. It's just such a peaceful, setting and all, and then it just gets all creepy and, all suspenseful and, something like that. And then when Michael Myers is stalking Tommy, when Tommy's walking home, and, the Halloween theme is playing, I just love that. But as I was saying, the setting is perfect in this movie, The night when Michael Myers escapes, it's rainy, it's stormy, that makes things a little bit more suspenseful, but I love the fall Halloween setting in all the Halloween movies, that is. I just love it. And of course, the ending of this movie is set at night when Michael Myers is stalking everybody. I mean, it's perfect. I love this setting with these movies. Something I've always enjoyed with the Halloweens. Next thing I want to talk about, guys, is this movie's rating. This is rated R. Now, here's the thing with Halloween. It was rated R back then, and of course it was looked at as a really bad horror movie, because it featured, like horrible killings. There's a sex scene in this movie. There's some language here and there, but it was looked at really bad back then, but today it's still looked at, it should still be rated R, but it's not looked at as bad as it was back then today. But still, just beware, it is rated R. But teens, go see this movie. I mean, come on, it's just a classic slasher horror film. I love it, but this movie's rated R, violence, killings, some language. But next thing I want to quickly get into. Is this movie creepy or scary? That's a question I keep asking horror movies nowadays, and the answer is always no, because horror movies made today, they're not creepy, they're not scary in the least. For the most part, they're bad. But Halloween, while it never has really scared me, maybe when I was younger and I watched this movie, it probably scared me a little bit, creeped me out a little bit. These movies are always creepy. Just Michael Myers stalking you is creepy as hell. When Laurie is in her house and Michael Myers is behind the bed sheets, the clothesline, and he's stalking her. I mean, that's such a creepy and classic scene. I always love watching that. And then Laurie looks away, she looks back, he's gone. I mean, come on, that is just genius. I love watching that. But there are a lot of creepy scenes in this movie. Michael Myers stalking Laurie and her friends, and when Michael Myers does get kills, where he pops out of nowhere, we don't expect him. We know something's coming, but it's building up. I mean, that's all creepy. I love stuff like that in horror movies. I mean, this is the old-fashioned classic kind of creepy movie. Compared to the crap we have nowadays, I mean, this movie is 10 times better than the horror movies we have nowadays. The horror movies we have nowadays are an absolute disgrace. But there are so many creepy parts in this movie that I always enjoy. I mean, come on, when Michael Myers is stalking his sister, and we see the camera is like first person, really, and he puts the mask on, and we see the holes for the eyes, and it's, like what it shows what Michael's seeing. I mean, come on, that's creepy as hell. So many fun, creepy parts in this movie when Michael Myers has the bedsheet on and he's pretending that it's Linda's boyfriend when it's really Michael. I mean, come on, I just love all that. So, guys, yes, this movie definitely has some creepy scenes that scared a hell of a lot of people back then. And a lot of people back then in 1978 were always saying, "Oh my God, this is the scariest movie I've ever seen." And yeah, I guess, because this is really the scariest thing that you ever had back then. So yeah, of course it's scary. But anyway, guys. Final thing I'm going to talk about in this review is my rating of Halloween. You guys know I've been doing nothing but just praising this movie throughout. I'm going to go ahead and give the obvious rating a 10 out of 10 for Halloween. I mean, come on. If anyone even gives it like a 9, it deserves a hell of a lot more. It's just such a fun, classic horror slasher film with the greatest slasher killer of all time in it, Michael Myers, just going after Laurie Strode and her friends, and Dr. Loomis trying to hunt Michael Myers down. I mean, such a great movie. From the well-written story, the cast is all great. Donald Pleasence and Jamie Lee Curtis are fantastic. The creepy-ass Halloween, the fall setting, kids trick-or-treating, kids' laughter, and then you see Michael Myers stalking kids and stalking, Laurie's, stalking Laurie's friends. I mean, it's such a fun movie. There are so many creepy, intense parts of this movie when Laurie is trying to escape from Michael Myers in the end of the movie, right when we know, she's got to get away, and when we know Dr. Loomis is going to get involved in the end of the movie, it's just so creepy and intense. And when Dr. Loomis does, spoiler, and when he shoots Michael Myers in the end of the movie and shoots him 6 times, falls off the balcony, and Michael walks off, you know that this guy's not human. He did some up with this guy. But it's just so much fun. It's just such a fun Halloween, movie to watch around Halloween time, guys. It's the best Halloween movie ever made, obviously. It's the best movie to watch during the time of Halloween, every single October, guys. Halloween, perfect horror film. Perfect. Absolutely flawless. When comparing this to Friday the 13th, there is only one thing Friday the 13th has over the original Halloween, and that is gorier kills. This Halloween, the kills were not gory. But you know what? I don't have a problem with that in the least. It's just so much fun to watch Michael Myers just creep the shit out of people, to go after Laurie and her friends. I love it. And one other thing I always love with this movie, I forgot to mention, the Halloween theme by John Carpenter, when it's playing in the movie, it is just so amazing. It's such a fitting theme to the movie. When that's playing, when Michael's stalking Tommy, when Michael gets into the car and he's following Tommy, Tommy doesn't even realize it. I mean, I love that scene. It is so much fun, so creepy as hell. The music adds to the suspense in the movie. This movie, I'm not even going to go on and talk about how much more I love it. I'm done. I've done enough. You guys, if you haven't seen this movie, you should probably guess by now. Yeah, go out and watch this movie like right now. Just don't even hesitate. Just go order it on Amazon, please. Go buy the Blu-ray. Halloween, guys, 10 out of 10. Absolutely love this movie. Love watching it every single October, every single time of the year. I'm trying to remember. I hope I didn't forget talking about anything. I'm sorry if this review's so long. It's just, I love this movie so much. I love talking about it. And the sequel, man, the sequel was perfect too. I was so shocked how good the sequel was. You know, I love the sequel almost just as much as the original, but of course the original is just a tad better. I love this movie, guys. Such a great Halloween horror movie. I think I'm done praising it. Guys, thank you for watching this movie review of the 1978 classic Halloween. Now that, you know, all the Halloween videos are going to, you know, start coming to a close because Halloween, you know, it's the month of October is over by, you know, it's pretty much over. Guys, all my, you know, my regular, you know, DVD reviews, unboxings, all that stuff's coming back. Thank you for sticking with me during this time on my channel where I talk all about horror movies, and I hope you've been enjoying all these horror-related, you know, horror movie-related videos. Thank you for watching my review of Halloween, best horror film of all time. Bye, guys.